Morning, guys. So, Euro USD broke out of this range that we've been trading in for the whole of last month. So, I mean, and today we have FOMC. So basically, is what I've been waiting for, that break, and then we have FOMC. So, let's see if the Fed, they're expected to cut the interest rate by 25 BP 25 basis points. So the point that what that means for us is basically we expect dollar to go short, and so that's the thing. So since this interest rate has been, how would I say, anticipated for quite some time now, so it is a possibility that it has been priced into the market. So even when the interest rate finally comes out, we might not see that much reaction because it has been expected, if you get what I'm saying. But let's see what happens. But what is happening now is, now this is our demand, right? So this is our demand, right, which is pushing market up higher, so which we expect to come into perhaps, and then maybe we can find some trade from there. But this is our whole area of demand, coinciding with the quarterly open. Maybe we get that short retracement into here. We might get there, we might not get there. It might be that bullish that will just, just little consolidation, then breakout, and then continuation. Let's see how that works. But it would be nice if we get some, retracement. Maybe not that deep, but we can get those retracements, and then we'll just enter upon the next move up. But right now we're just in an impulsive phase, right? So we had our impulse correction. Right now we're back in impulse, right? So we had here the range. Now we've pushed up, so we just want to keep on looking for buys, which goes according to the underlying trend, as we've been preaching and screaming, and all the time. So guys, let's keep that in mind as we approach those towards the end of this week. So perhaps we could get some of those dollar shorts and euro USD longs. Okay. Speaking of the dollar, let's look at the dollar. So today, we expect the Fed to cut interest rates, as we've been screaming, right? So yesterday we sold off, right? We lost from 97 to 96, 97.3 to 96.3, right? So now we've come into this low. So let's see what happens today. Let's stay our hands. Let's see what happens on dollar today. But this is now our supply area, right? This is our supply area. We want to look for sales from, right? So coincides with the quarterly open, similar to Euro USD. So let's see how that goes, and let's see what we can get from the dollar. Okay, guys. So we just watch for this area. Let's see, maybe we get some retracement, and then we'll find some new shorts on the dollar, which would mean longs for Euro USD, GBP USD. As I've been screaming, all I'm looking for is longs. This is still my target, the quarterly open, to take out all of this liquidity. As you can see, we haven't taken them all out. So for me, I'm still waiting. I'm still observing shorts. Sorry, longs on this pairs, but I would like good entries. Maybe we come down a little bit to this demand level, or perhaps this one right here, and then we can find those entries to take it further up, right, using this place as our support, right? So let's see. All we can do right now is wait. But we had some beautiful setups that we'll discuss from last week, which I didn't take, and that's the thing. So we'll get there. But it's, how would I say, it's a learning curve. I'll show it to you guys, and then we'll dissect it, and we'll discuss why we didn't get into it. But for NZD USD, right? So swing wise, we know we're bullish, and then we had this range, right? This range around here. Let's So we had that range, right? We had that range, right? And now we broke out of that range, took out the lows. Now we're just coming back. So for me, as I've been saying, all I'm just looking for here is new new buy positions, because I mean, we have this liquidity that we'll target, right? So third, on that fourth touch, right? Okay, there will be sellers there. which were trapped, and now we broke above it, we retested it, and then we just kept on going, right? There was just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going. So for us, it's just about looking for longs. Perhaps we'll come take out these lows into this demand level, and then we can find those longs if we create a new demand and things like that. So let's see how that goes. But right now, this is demand which is pushing market up higher, right? We have here our demand level because now we broke it. Now we're coming to retest into that demand level. So maybe we grab some liquidity here and then we start to push up again. Let's remove this P&L tool, and then we start to push up again. So let's keep an eye out for that. Let's see what happens on NZD USD. But as you can see on this demand, we took our liquidity, pushed up, retraced. So let's see how the market wants to play out. With AU, right? So we hit that target that I marked out, this liquidity target. So let's see if we get those retracements, right, into this lower areas, right? And you know what's funny? Like the Fed might not even just cut interest, and you just be like, okay, now that's shocking. So guys, I mean, nobody knows, but that's what we expect. So that's the point. So as you can see, we're just moving slowly. We're back. We're now in this liquidity high. So I want to see what's going to happen. We're having this corrective pattern into the high right here. You can see this, right? As you can see this, right? You can see this. So we're having this corrective pattern into the high. So perhaps we can have a breakout on either side, and then we see what happens from there. So we're not guessing, we're just following, right? With BTC, this was from yesterday, which I said, okay, you could buy the breakout if you want to, but that's not in my strategy. But the point I'm trying to make is, let me delete this because it's not in my strategy. So now we came to the quarterly open, we started to push up. So we're just pushing up. Now we're at 117,000. Beautiful. So we have this liquidity high here. So perhaps when we grab that liquidity high, we can see some retracement. We built liquidity here. We can see some retracement into this gap here. Maybe we use the weekly open as support, and then we use it to push up. I think that's last week weekly open, right? That's last week. Okay. So let's see what happens on BTC. But all I'm interested in is in longs. Maybe we can start from this liquidity high, push down a little bit, and then we can look for those further longs to take out this descending highs right here. So this would be the target, about 119, 186, and then we see what happens from there. Okay, on gold, what is there to say except look for buys, right? Okay, so now you can see, okay, so this is our breakup structure. Now these are swing low, these are swing high, right? So that's our swing low, that's our swing high, our breakup structure, right? So we can look for retracement back into this area. If we get those retracement back into that area, then perhaps we can look for higher prices on gold. So let's see how it goes. So maybe we can start looking for higher prices once we get that retracement, which will be nice because it will be discount, and then we'll have some liquidity. We have this sweet area of demand. It's gonna be a sweet setup. So let's see if it plays out for us. Okay, so to what I spoke about last week, right? So here was the trade. There's the CHF, right? Even a blind man can say that. Okay, all you want to do in this market is sell. Okay, good. Now, for me, right, so this was our swing high, this was our swing low, right? So you can see this, right? Swing high, swing low. Right, we came into this 50%, we decided to have this consolidated price action, but we're still going down lower and lower and lower. And then what happened? We had this price injection right here, retracement of this supply level, and then boom, you just sell from there, right? And on the 4 hour, what do we have? We had this liquidity. Now, why didn't I take this trade? Because I was skeptical about where to put my stop. I was skeptical about where to put my stop, right? So this I would say this sort of setup where we've had like, okay, an extended move down, which doesn't really matter, and then we're selling from a discounted area, which I would prefer to sell from here. You get what I'm saying? So we had like conflicting confluences on that trade, but also we had this monthly open. So for me, as you can see, we had the perfect technical analysis, but it's not usually about technicals, guys. It's not usually about technical. It's about what goes on in your head. It's about your mental state. How can you handle this pressure? How can you handle putting yourself to that risk, right? Opening yourself to risk. So some people don't handle it well, some people handle it well. Guys, we need to always make sure that we, how do I say this? We are of the proper mindset to take the opportunities that the market is going to give us. We're in the proper headspace to make to take advantage of the opportunities that market is going to give us. So now, where can we find our next opportunity? We can find our next opportunity here, right? So as you can see, this supply, right, it took our liquidity, right? The supply took our liquidity. So and that's why we sold from here, right? So now this became our new supply. We came into it, tested it, and then we started to sell. So for me, I would just be waiting for that retracement, right? So we've grabbed this liquidity or the low. So it is a possibility that, okay, after grabbing that liquidity, this extreme liquidity, we can look for that retracement, right? We look for that retracement into this quarterly open, using it as resistance, and then we can sell from there. For me, I'm not looking for any sells now, any buys now, unless we start to break like above, like breaking these fractal structures, and then we can look for those positions. Okay. And then finally on GBP NZD, this one also we missed yesterday. So look at this trade, right? So we had this, it's a bullish market, right? Bullish as they can be, right? We can see that. And now this is our demand level. We had liquidity resting right underneath it. We grabbed that liquidity. Here we had that change of structure. Boom, we pushed up. Once you had that change of structure, your entry would have come right here. That would have been on Monday, right? Monday evening, I missed the trade, and then you can see to target this liquidity area right here for like a 1 to 2.5 or something. You can put your stop right here, pardon, and then you come right here, okay, for 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2.1 to 3. You can get a 1 to 3, sure. So guys, have a wonderful day. That's the end of our daily review for today. Keep in mind, if you're in this trade, the monthly open is right above, which could be a resistance and also could act as a way for me to join the market. Let's see how that goes. But remember, we don't chase, we just wait. Okay, we're not a lion, we're a cougar. Well, puma. But you get it. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Take care. Speak to you soon.